think of it, I should have saved that intro for when I had some actual Superman news. Ah, well. And forgive me for sounding kind of monotone, it's just because I have sort of a sore throat, and I just don't want to push it. So if I sound a little bored, that's why. It's not because I don't want to do this, it's just because I have kind of a sore throat. Alright, so we got a few pretty big trailers this week. No! I don't want to do this one! No, I refuse. No. No! Next up is the trailer for a movie that looks slightly better, but not by much. And that's Paranormal Activity 3. Now, I have heard some good buzz on this movie coming out of Fantastic Fest, but I have no interest in seeing it, honestly, because I saw the second movie once it came out on DVD, and I honestly thought it was abysmal, and I couldn't even finish watching it. I did love the first movie, but I feel like this franchise is a one-trick pony, and this movie really doesn't look like it's doing anything too new or different. And I really want the story to progress, and instead they're just going backwards, which really annoys me and bothers me. Because I'm generally not a big prequel fan, aside from X-Men First Class and some other things. But, I don't know, it just looks really generic, and it doesn't look any scarier than Paranormal Activity 1 or 2, so I probably will be skipping the third Paranormal Activity. Next up, we have Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, starring Tom Hanks and Sandra Bullock. Now, all I knew going into this trailer was that those two were in it, and that it was probably going to be one of the big Oscar contenders of the year, because I had heard some buzz about it, but honestly, it looks a little disappointing. It centers on Tom Hanks' character, who dies in the 9/11 attacks, and it's about his son and his mom and his wife, played by Sandra Bullock, getting over it. And I don't know, it just looks so saccharine sweet. It has that inspirational U2 music in the trailer, and the little, well, not that I don't like U2, it's just it sent the wrong message in this trailer. It looks really pretentious. The little kid looks like he's a horrible actor. It doesn't look like it's really going to delve into the emotions of these people. It just looks like it's going to be a very easy to digest film about loss, and I feel like that shouldn't be what a film about loss should be. It should be hard and edgy and really get into under these people's skin, but unfortunately it just looks kind of generic, and I probably won't see it unless it gets amazing buzz, which it might, because it looks like an Oscar contender. And finally, we have the trailer for Contraband, starring Mark Wahlberg, Kate Beckinsale, and Ben Foster. Now, honestly, while this does look pretty good, it just looks like a generic action movie. Like, it centers on Mark Wahlberg, who's the typical, I used to be a big badass, but now I'm a family man type guy, and who's thrown back into the heist world when they threaten his family. And it looks kind of typical, but it looks well made, you know what I mean? Like, it looks like a movie that I can definitely sit through and enjoy. It looks like a decent vehicle for Mark Wahlberg, and I'll watch Ben Foster in anything. So I'll probably end up seeing this, but in the week it comes out, there's a better-looking action movie called Premium Rush, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So let's just say it won't be my top priority, but it doesn't look bad either. Alright, now, in terms of news, we have one fairly big story this week, and that story is... I swear, one of these days I'm just gonna have to make a video of me spazzing out to all the famous movie and game theme songs. And also, no, you cannot know what this was. This is my own instrument that I invented. So anyways, Mortal Kombat is finally getting a reboot. And the best part is that Kevin Tokakurin, or whatever his last name is, God knows, is directing. And this is the guy who directed the Mortal Kombat Legacy miniseries that came out at the beginning of the year. Now, I only saw a couple episodes of this, but I actually thought the guy's style was great, and that it really suited Mortal Kombat. And I don't know, and he says he really wants to do like a hard R, bloody Mortal Kombat movie, which is exactly what it needs. I can really see Mortal Kombat being like the 300 of Kung Fu, if done correctly. And I feel like this could be the first video game movie that actually turns out good, so we'll see. And finally, here are some quick tidbits. The Red Dawn remake is finally getting released after being on the shelf for Lord knows how long, and it's getting released by Film District next year. Now, I'm not a big on remakes, as you know, but I'm looking forward to this mainly because it stars Chris Hemsworth, and I'm really looking forward to see what this guy does in anything. So we'll see about that. I think it could be pretty good. An updated version of Red Dawn might be pretty entertaining. Also, Justin Timberlake has been cast as record executive Neil Bogart, and I'm assuming that's going to be kind of a biopic type film. I think Justin Timberlake's a pretty good actor, so we'll see how that goes. I'm interested to see him play a more in-depth biopic type role, and I'll definitely go out and see that. The original writers of Wanted have been put on for the sequel. They're trying to move that forward again. Hopefully it gets off the ground because I really enjoyed the first one. I just really hope they don't bring Angelina Jolie back in some cheap way just to cash in on her fame. But I'm really glad the original writers are back because the ones who wrote the first draft of the script wrote Pooh's Heffalump movie. And for some reason, I'm just not sure that connects to Wanted. And finally, no, actually not finally, there's two more stories. Mission Impossible is getting an early IMAX release, and that's not a big deal, but if you want to see Mission Impossible 1 week earlier when it was supposed to come out before they moved it, you can if you go on IMAX. And finally, really this time, Sony is not paying for their 3D glasses anymore. So starting with Men in Black 3, I believe, if you want to see a Sony film in 3D, you're going to have to pay more for your 3D glasses. Yay! Whoop-de-freaking-do! 3D being more expensive. That's exactly what we needed, people. Now I have even more of a reason not to go see 3D films. Thank you, Sony. Thank you so much. I love you sometimes. You guys are wonderful. Wonderful. Alright. I forgot one more thing. Kurt Russell is now in Danger Unchained in the role that Kevin Costner is going to play. God, can this movie get any more awesome? I swear to God, it's not possible. And that's the show for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to subscribe. And until next time, I'm Movie Kid Mike, making sure your time is worth your money.